Hello, everyone. It's time to break down a few American stocks. Let's see what's happening today and highlight the main points that I hope will help you make informed trading decisions. And we'll start today with Palantir and its monthly chart. Last time, I suggested that this movement was a manipulation where most retail traders would sell since the level and trend had been broken, and whoever orchestrated this manipulation would buy from them, pushing the price up. Today, we see clear confirmation of this. The price has returned within the bounds of the uptrend, and now it can be redrawn. Looking at the big picture, continued growth should follow, but after the current manipulation, I think it'll happen after a small correction. Now we need to turn to the daily time frame to examine this movement more closely. So looking at the daily chart, we can see that the price gapped up, broke through the downtrend, and practically reached the designated target. Since gaps are most often filled, I assume that there might be a return to the price of $125 later on to close this price gap, and only then will further growth continue. Alternatively, the price could return from current levels to test the upper boundary of the downtrend channel and continue its growth. In other words, at the moment, nothing suggests a sharp drop in the asset's price. I will refrain from making any chart-based predictions and will just observe the movement for now. Therefore, for those holding a stock in their portfolio, it's likely that you'll have to endure a correction after this move. But overall, everything still points to future price growth. Next up are Oracle shares in their monthly chart. Since the last review, the price has returned above the levels it had previously passed. I had assumed the price would move within a sideways range, as the player's intentions are still unclear to me, and the buying and selling volumes are equivalent. Therefore, I'm sticking to these plans for now and will continue to observe the movement. I will refrain from making any chart-based predictions. Things are a bit more interesting on the daily chart. The last drop was accompanied by high selling volumes, while the current growth is completely empty. Based on this, the current movement can be interpreted as a correction of the previous drop. And if that's the case, then going forward, I will expect the asset's price to fall, with a first target of $100 and a final target of $50 per share. I'll mark my expectations on the chart. Therefore, for those holding the stock in their portfolio, the most positive scenario at the moment is for the price to move sideways. All other development scenarios point to a further decline. I don't see any point in buying or adding to the position at this moment. Next up, Intel stock. On the monthly chart, the price is continuing its correction according to the planned path and fell just short of the target. The price has turned around for the moment, but this growth isn't supported by high buying volume, and for now, I consider it a short-term reversal, since there's no major player interested in this move. Therefore, based on current data, I expect the asset's price to continue falling. Now, let's look at the daily chart. My suspicions about a continued decline are confirmed here as well, since the current and previous price growth are completely empty. There's no significant buying volume in them. I consider the price of $106 to $107 per share to be the key level. Only if the price moves significantly above this value will I reconsider my expectations. But for now, everything points to a further decline in the asset's price. Therefore, for those holding the stock in their portfolio, despite the current price movement, I expect a further decline to the $70 to $75 range, after which I expect growth to resume. It is advisable to buy more shares only after a correction to the $75 price level, or after the current downward trend is broken. Next, Microsoft shares. On the monthly chart, the trend and levels remain relevant. As I assumed, the price continues to move in an upward trend. I would say that the price will continue to move toward the upper boundary, but at the moment, buying volumes are weak, and it is quite likely that the price could reverse. But the month has only just begun, and it is necessary to continue observing the player's efforts. Let's look at the daily chart. In the previous review, I projected the price movement to at least $450 per share. The target was met and even exceeded. But similar to Palantir, the price broke upward, leaving behind gaps that need to be filled. And the current buying volumes don't inspire confidence either. I think a more realistic scenario is for the price to return to the $400 range. For now, I don't believe in further growth for the asset, so I will refrain from making any chart-based predictions and wait for a clearer picture of what's happening. Therefore, for those holding the stock in their portfolio, holding the position is at your own risk. For now, I consider a return of the price to the $400 range more likely, but I don't fully understand the current movement yet. Well, that's roughly the development of events I'm expected. And if you think otherwise, write to me about it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future reviews. I hope I was very helpful. And don't forget, we propose, but the market disposes.